Hi, everyone, and welcome to the presentation from SRH University Heidelberg. I'm your host, Stephanie Farrar. I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. So I'm hoping that everyone is able to see the screen now. So welcome to the European Higher Education Fair 2020 webinar series. This is brought to you by the delegation of the EU to Japan. So I want to say a big thank you for organizing this webinar series. There's a lot of really prestigious universities who are presenting over the coming weeks. So I hope you will be taking advantage of that. I also wanted to say a thank you to the DAAD in Tokyo for their support with organizing the technical side and also communicating with us regularly about this event over the last few weeks. So my name, as I said, is Stephanie Farrar, and I work in the international office of SRH University Heidelberg. Originally, I am from the United States, from California, but I came here to our university to study. I graduated around 2 years ago from the International Business Bachelor program, and I have been working with the International Office as a student. I did my internship, and I also completed my first 2 years of work here at the university. So I know what it's like to come as an international student to Germany. I know the questions you have, I know the concerns, and I know a lot of what you would be going through as a student. So I highly encourage all of you to take advantage of my knowledge by asking questions. There's a question and answer function that I will check at the end of my presentation. Please don't be nervous. I know that no one here is a native English speaker, but this presentation is for you, and I would love to answer any questions and use my knowledge to help you. So please take advantage of that. I also wanted to point out, because the DAAD is here, that I am a 2-time DAAD award winner. So if you're not familiar with the DAAD and you're interested in studying in Germany, please be sure to connect with the DAAD Tokyo. Check out their page. There's a lot of useful information for international students and also information about scholarships, moving to Germany, and basically all the information that you could want, you can find with them. So right off the bat, welcome to Germany. I'm sure if you have already considered studying in Germany, you know most of this information. I did want to say that as an international student, that Germany did really live up to my expectations. There is top quality education. There's a very good quality of life here. The country is fairly affordable. It's about the average of the EU. So not overly expensive, but also not what we say preiswert, which is on the cheaper side or more reasonable. It's kind of on the average. Germany is a very safe and welcoming country. I actually wrote my thesis on international students and asked a lot of questions, did interviews and surveys about their experience. And 100% of the people who participated in my study said that they felt safe and welcome in Germany. So that's great news for foreign students. The economy and infrastructure is very strong. There are lots of opportunities for you to work as a student or to stay after your studies, as I have, and get a job if you decide you like Germany. An additional benefit for you is that upon graduation, you can qualify for an 18-month job searching visa. This means you have 18 months to find a full-time position in your field after you graduate. But I will say that none of my classmates actually needed the full 18 months to find a job. That's how good the economy is. Also, at the end of 2 years working with your first company, you can qualify for permanent residence. And it's a fairly easy process. I'm actually qualifying at the end of this month for my permanent residence in Germany. So let's take a look at SRH University Heidelberg. All the programs that you see on your screen now are our 100% English programs. There's no German knowledge required to take any of these programs. But of course, if you live in Germany and want to work in Germany, then I advise that you learn the German language. But to apply and start your studies, no German is required. You can see a map on the right-hand side of Germany, and we are located down in the south on the border with France and also the Black Forest area of Germany. So it's very, very beautiful here. We have one business program at the bachelor level, international business. That's what I studied. And we have a number of master courses. If you are looking at master courses for applied computer science or big data, this is the computer science field. We also have engineering courses, information technology, international business and engineering, and water technology. We have courses in therapy for music therapy and dance movement therapy. And finally, business courses offered in English, international management and leadership for students with a business background, or general management and leadership for students with a non-business background. So a little bit more about our university. We are a private university, so we are a smaller university, around 3,400 students, but we're very international. We have over 700 international students on our campus. We have 6 schools at our university, and 4 of them are offering English programs. Altogether, we have more than 45 study programs, with 10 of those being 100% in English. And all of our professors at our university are required to have a minimum of 5 years professional experience. So they bring this with them into the classroom. So you can be assured you're not only learning theoretical knowledge, but you're learning from a professor with actual real-world experience in the field that they're teaching. And for every program, we invite international guest professors from our partner universities around the world. So you get an international exposure inside of your classroom from your professors as well. Taking a closer look at our international students, because this would be the group that you fall into. Of those 700 I mentioned, 600 are full-time degree-seeking students in our 10 English programs. And we also have 100 exchange students coming per year from our partner universities around the world. So this looks like overall 20% of our student body being actually international students themselves from over 65 nationalities. So there are a lot of things that I could talk about being a past student at the university, but I think the 4 most important characteristics that I would like to share with you about our university is, firstly, how international we are. I showed you the number of exchange students that we have guest professors coming in and out of the classroom, but more than that, there's opportunities for you. If you would like to do a study semester, thesis semester, or an internship abroad, we can help you with that. And some of our programs even have an integrated study abroad semester as part of the studies. Campus facilities. I'll show you a little bit more about our beautiful campus that you can see behind me here in a moment. But one unique thing that we have is we actually have a full campus. When you're looking at universities in Germany or Europe, one thing I was surprised about being an American is a lot of times there's not actually a centralized campus. There's facilities all around the city that you have to travel to. But at our university, we have a full campus, so there's everything that you need to live and learn all in one place. And again, I'll go into more detail in the coming slides. Third, German accredited. When you're looking at universities in Germany, you will see public and private universities. We are a private university and we are German accredited. German accredited means if you go outside of Germany, that your degree will carry weight, that it's still accredited internationally. So that's a good tip I have for you if you're looking at a private university, is to make sure that they are German accredited, to make sure that your degree will carry weight. And finally, the core principle. This is how we teach in the classroom. It is very effective for getting you to learn the material and also prepare you for upcoming tasks, such as your exams that you will have or other things that you're going to be doing when you finally get to the workforce. I did see a question come in, so I'm going to take a moment to look at that to see if I can answer it. So the first question that I have on here is if we can study biology or chemistry. Unfortunately, we do not offer biology or chemistry at our university, only things in the area of computer science, therapy, engineering, or business. So I want to go a little bit more into this core principle that I was just discussing. The core principle, that is our activated teaching and learning method, which means you are going to be doing a lot of things in your classroom. We don't really have everything set up like a typical lecture where you have a teacher at the front and you're sitting in the classroom taking notes and writing an exam. That doesn't really happen at our university. What we do instead is we have your classroom set up in small groups of around 20 to 25 international students, and you work in these groups to actually produce something. That's where this practical teaching and testing comes in. So you might be doing something like a presentation or a research paper, a case study, or you might even be doing discussion groups. And you're working in close contact with your professors. That's why we have contact hours instead of lecture hours, so that your professor and your small groups are guided through this practical teaching together, and then you do a practical test at the end. So as long as you are coming to class, you're working with your fellow students and keeping in contact with your professor, then usually the testing that you have, you are well prepared for. I'm somebody who really suffers from testing anxiety. I always get very nervous, but one thing I noticed here at the university is I still experience nervousness, but also confidence, because I had been preparing the whole 5 weeks with my professor to take my exam. We also have a network of global players in the area. So if you're interested in working as a student, we have our class schedule set up to allow our students time to work. We do think that's very important. And if you want to stay in the area after you graduate, there are lots of opportunities for international students around Heidelberg or all around Germany. So this core principle, this small group practical teaching and testing that we have, allows 92% of our students to graduate successfully. And by successfully, I mean on time. Most of the degree programs are either 18 months or 24 months, and 92% of our students graduate on time, whereas the German average is actually around 60%. So you can see that there's a big opportunity for you to learn and successfully complete all of your courses on time at our university. And because of this core principle, this way that we teach at the university, we actually won what's called the Genus Loci Prize in 2018 for teaching excellence. Only one university and one University of Applied Sciences, so two, are awarded this Teaching Excellence Award every year, and we won it in 2018 because of our high graduation rate. And of course, when you're looking at universities, you also want to take a look at the ranking. So these are two rankings that we qualified for in 2020. The first one is called the U Multi-Rank, and this is offered by the EU Commission and the Erasmus Plus program. We're very grateful to have gotten top rankings in our international student orientation and our regional engagement. The main highlights of this were teaching, our core principle, research, the high rate of jobs that our international students were getting upon graduation, and also our industry contacts. The second one is the CHE. This is Germany's largest university ranking that compares over 300 universities. And this year, we had very high marks for business-related courses, the business administration, business law, and business psychology. Some of those are German courses, which is why I didn't mention them before. The business administration is the English. And we were awarded very high marks for our support services and also our examination methods at the university. So if you're not familiar with either of these, you can check out on the DAAD website to learn a little bit more about these kinds of rankings and also which universities have gotten these high awards. Here's our campus in Heidelberg. You can see behind me, this is our iconic blue tower that we have. A fun fact for you is it's actually the largest building in the city at 13 stories. We are one of the oldest and largest private universities in Germany. So we have a long history of education and a high reputation with the industry. Our classrooms are set up to promote learning. For example, if you're in one of the applied computer science or big data programs, we have standing tables because we know that you're working at your computer. So ergonomically, it's nice for you to be able to stand. To be able to learn better. For our business students who have to do a lot of collaboration and a lot of work together, you can actually take all of the furniture apart in the classroom and reassemble it so you can get into your different groups and do your meetings. So I find that the way the classrooms are set up really do help us students learn. We also have all of our classrooms set up with the COVID-19 safety measures you can see on the picture here. And we are still having meetings at the university with our students in very small groups. For most of the classes we have right now, they're meeting once a week in person, but they're doing a lot of meetings, of course, virtually. But we do find that our students really still want to have the personal contact. So as long as the regulations in Germany allow us to meet our students in person, we are trying to do it once a week with everyone. The campus is really beautiful. There's a lot of green spaces for leisure activities. So the students can get outside and do different things or even learn outside on the campus. So if you come visit, you're going to see students all over the place hanging out outside and learning together. And our location is really good. We're located actually on the river, only 15 minutes from the city center and 10 minutes from the main train station. Also, if you're living at the campus, there are lots of opportunities for you to go shopping. There are sports clubs. Hiking is really close. I'm an avid hiker and I can get hiking fairly easily. And if you want to get into the city, you don't have to take public transportation. If you don't want, you can rent a scooter or a bicycle right on our campus. So this is what our campus looks like. As I said, there's everything to live and learn all in one place. You can see on the right-hand side, we do have on-campus accommodation. and you as an international student would get priority. We know that coming to a foreign country, there's a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety that you might have about coming, but the fact that we can offer you a room and you have a place to go as soon as you arrive, it gives you that confidence and that surety that when you get here, you'll be taken care of, not only by the university, but by the other international students living in our dormitories. Also on the campus in the middle, you can see we have a cafeteria, library, a sports center. At the top is our science garden. That's actually the tower right here. It's right behind the tower. And we have a coffee lounge also for the students on the campus. So if you're interested in on-campus accommodation, you can see here some of the pictures from one of our dormitories. When you are looking at universities, not only in Germany, but in Europe, it's not common to find any on-campus accommodation for students. I haven't been able to find another university that offers it. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a unique thing that we can offer to you as a student coming. Our on-campus accommodation is about the average that you would find for student housing within the city. It ranges from around 230 euro to 550. And this is because there are many options for you as far as rooms. You might want a single room or maybe a double room. You have the option for a private bathroom or a shared bathroom with your floor. But one unique thing that we have in every building is our large kitchens. And this is a great place for you guys to make friends, is in the kitchen, because everybody likes to eat. So outside the classroom, because we are a private university, we offer pre-arrival support with videos like we're doing now. We might have a Zoom conference before you come to help you prepare. And we keep in contact with our students as they're arriving with different things like a WhatsApp group. We offer an orientation week and events so that you can get to know us, the colleagues at the university, and you can get to know your fellow classmates, because everyone coming here doesn't know each other. This is a great way for you to make friends before class starts. We have the International Cultural Club, and this is a weekly meeting with our international students. And even during COVID times, we're still meeting with the students virtually to do different activities or just hang out and talk. We offer free German courses. So if your goal is to stay at the university, not the university, if your goal is to stay in Germany after graduation, then by the time you graduate, you can have a B1 or B2 level and easily find a job, because you have the skills as far as your education, and you also have the German skills. We have a startup incubator at our university. If you are an entrepreneur and you would like to start your own company, or if you would like to get involved working with different company projects, you can do that at our startup incubator. We have a career center. So one thing that is really important is the guidance that you get as an international student about maybe what a CV looks like, how to do an interview, or maybe you want to brush up on things like your PowerPoint or how to make a good LinkedIn page. You can do all of this with our Career Center, and they work with students one-on-one, depending on what you want to know. And if you have ideas for different skills that you want to learn about at the university, maybe public speaking, we also take suggestions and we'll offer those courses to students as well. And that is included in your tuition. And of course, we have a strong alumni network, not only in Heidelberg, but around Germany. So if you're interested in looking at moving to Berlin or Munich, you can get in contact with our alumni to help you there as well. So this comes to our tuition fees. Since we are a private university, yes, we do have tuition fees. So when you're looking at the screen here, First, you have your bachelor and your master degree programs. Then you have the total cost of your tuition fee. This is not a yearly cost. This is the total amount for your tuition fees. And then the next column is when you pay your fees. Some of them you can pay each year at the start of the school year, or you have to pay in advance. So if you're looking at this and you see international business, you'll see that it's a total of around 24,000 euros. You pay at the start of each year over 3 years. So this would mean that you pay 8,000 euros at the start of every school year. So your entrance criteria, first is your English proficiency. We know that a lot of testing centers are closed, so we are taking online tests from the IELTS indicator, the TOEFL Home Special Edition, and we're even taking Duolingo. If you are someone who has English as a native language, or you've worked in an English company, then we also take that as proof of English proficiency. For grades, we're looking at all of our students to have around a 2.5 German standard grade. We will accept usually a little bit of a lower grade than a 2.5 if you have maybe some work experience or there are extenuating circumstances. Work experience is very beneficial, but it's only required for the big data program. And of course, no matter which program you look at, there will be specific entrance criteria. Admission process is fairly simple. First, you do an online application. We verify all of your documents that you sent. If you pass that, then we invite you to do an interview, usually on Skype, to get to know each other. Then once you are accepted, then that is your tuition payment is due. And then we give you the final letter. And that's what you need for traveling to Germany or for a visa if you're someone who requires a visa. Funding, of course, as I said before, funding from the DAAD. As the largest scholarship provider in the world, there are plenty of different scholarships you can find there, either based on the program you want to study or your nationality. If you're someone who is interested in doing an internship or a study abroad semester, you can get funding through the Erasmus Plus program, and that will fund you for up to 1 year to be able to do your study and possibly both your internship abroad, and we can help you with selecting that at the university. We have what's called the Deutschlandstipendium. This is the Germany scholarship. Applications open in the summer, and to qualify for this, there's no special criteria. You can be any nationality and study in any program. And of course, people want to know about working. So as a student, you can work 120 full days or 240 half days in Germany. So I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for your interest and for coming to our presentation today. If you have follow-up questions after the event, you can always get in touch with our admissions team. Their email address is here on the screen, or go to our WhatsApp group and go into a chat with one of us. I wanted to open up the question and answers for you guys because you have the opportunity now to ask your questions in person, and I can answer them live for you. Please don't be shy to ask your question. Like I said before, I do work at the university now, but I was also a student, so it can be questions not just about the university, but if you have questions about Germany or Heidelberg, student life, any of these kinds of questions I can answer for you guys. It doesn't just have to be about the program specifically. So please take advantage of my knowledge and let me know what kind of questions or concerns you have. Okay, questions are coming in. Okay, so the first question that I have here is, I graduated from a Canadian high school, and on Annabelle it says I might have to go to Studienkolleg. How do I confirm if it's needed? That's actually a really good question. So if you're interested in studying in Germany and you're not sure about if you have entrance to a higher education institution, there is an organization that's called Uni Assist. And I'm going to write that in the answers. And Uni Assist is used by all German universities, and they check your transcripts, they check your high school, and they will confirm if you need a Studienkolleg, which is basically a year of preparation studies. They confirm if you need this or if you have direct entry. This can usually be a little bit confusing, even from our side, making sure that you qualify. So first step is to check with Uni Assist. And I'm going to, there we go. I sent that in the answer so you see how the spelling looks like. The next question on here, that's actually a fun question. Somebody wants to know how I spent my holiday. I actually spent most of my summer holiday here in Heidelberg. We're lucky enough that we live on the river here. As I talked about, the campus is located on the river, and I actually live quite close here. So just to make sure that we were keeping everyone safe, I spent most of my time in the area. I went to the river. I also took advantage of the bicycle rental that we have, and I actually traveled around to a lot of nearby cities in the Heidelberg area. I know that most of my other time that I've been in Germany before Corona, I love to travel, so I would go crazy faraway places. For example, I went to India at the start of 2020 before the lockdown happened. So I would take these huge faraway trips. But one of the cool things about the Corona time, having limited being able to travel, is it actually encouraged me to look what's in the area, what is close by. And I found so many amazing things. About 20 minutes away from us, there's actually 4 castles that I could hike to. They were very small castles, but I hiked to 4 castles in one afternoon. There's also a city around 20 minutes away from us in the opposite direction, and it's an old Roman settlement, and they have all kinds of ruins that you can go through. So that was pretty cool. We have a number of castles in the area. I know I keep saying the word castles, but there's a city called Schwetzingen that's around 40 minutes away by bike, and they have a huge garden. I spent about 4 hours just walking through their garden and taking a look. So there's actually so many things right in the area that we live in. So if the pandemic were to continue, it's actually a good opportunity for you to be able to explore the area like I did. And there are so many places that when my family comes to visit that I'm going to be taking everyone to. So thanks for the question. Okay. What are good things to learn in Germany compared to California or the USA? That's a very interesting question. In Germany, I've found that, of course, there's a lot more exposure to different nationalities here. And also in California, it's very popular for international students to come and study there. So that part of it was not so life-changing, I would say. But what was very cool was coming to Germany, I got to be the international student. So the good thing for me to learn in Germany is independence, first of all. I had to figure a lot of things out. on my own how to do things. It also taught me when I really do need to ask for help. I was able to ask other international students or the university for help when I needed it, and I got that help. And also being in Germany, it really pushed me to become more outgoing. Back home in California, I knew everyone, I knew how everything was done, so I wasn't forced out of my comfort zone. But when I came here and I was nervous at first, but then I realized that everyone else is in the same situation, everyone else is new, it's really pushed me to be able to make friends and to be very accepting of others. So I think that was the biggest thing that I learned between Germany and California. Thank you for your question. Next question was, do you think work experience is important when studying a Master of International Business? I'm an undergraduate student now. I think that work experience is really beneficial. Since you're looking at one of the business programs, of course, it does help if you have work experience, but it's not required. In my classroom, when I did international business, there were some students like me who were, I like to say, senior students, but we were a little bit older than the students. I was in my late 20s, so I had 10 years of work experience. But I was also in the classroom with some people who just graduated high school and had zero work experience. So I will say that having work experience did, of course, help because I was a little bit more familiar with the topics. But because we work in these groups of students together while learning the material, I was able to, of course, give some of my knowledge to students who didn't have any work experience, but they were also able to teach me certain things that I didn't know. So I would say, no, it's not important. It only is helpful. I'll put it that way. Next question. Did you go to language school before starting your studies at SRH? If so, at what level did you start and end? So at SRH, I did not go to language school because as an American, I didn't have to take any sort of examination to prove my English skills. Some of the students who were also in my class, they had to take some language school before they came. So at the university, we require a TOEFL of 80 or an IELTS of a 6.5 to be able to take it. So I talked with some of my friends in class, and some of them had been taking English for many years, and some of the other students, they took around 1 year of language courses to be able to take those examinations and be comfortable with their English. So I would say that for this question, it really depends what level you have now, how long it will take you to reach it's around a B2 level of English to be comfortable with it. But I think judging by at least how you wrote the question that your English is already quite good. So as long as you have that TOEFL 80 or IELTS 6.5, then you are just fine to come to the university. And I'm going to write those in the answer for you so that you have it written down. Remember, you can even do some of these from home right now because the testing centers are closed. So you can still be taking your examinations for English remotely from home. I did want to let everybody know that my time is coming to an end in about the next 3 minutes. So if you have any more questions, please write them in the question and answer. I'm going to quickly answer the other students who I haven't replied to yet. Okay, well, I didn't see any final questions in the question and answer. And for everyone who asked your questions, I went ahead and at least wrote you something very short in the question and answer session. Thank you so much again to the European delegation to Japan for organizing this. Thank you, DAAD, for all of your support. And thank you everyone for coming, and most importantly for being very brave and asking your questions to me. I really enjoyed hosting all of you. And if you ever want to get in contact with us at the university, I popped it up for you one last time. Maybe you want to take a screenshot, get in touch with our admissions team, and we would be happy to guide you and answer all of your questions. Thank you so much, everyone. My time is up. Thank you so much for having me today, and it was wonderful to talk with you. Thank you.